Hello everyone! So the second top build is about bravery, and as I've already told you, it's about aggro bravery, which dates from 2017, and of course it's a completely different build, not only because bravery got deleted together with its passive, but also because some second drops got deleted as well. So why is this even playable? Why is this even a top build? Well, actually because Tammy got its charge back and it's like a decent cut now. It can hit face, wow, OP when nerf. And of course, why is it even bravery? Well, it's a difficult question because I can't answer this question, literally because bravery is a soul without passive, but you get 2 additional cards playing an average bravery game. You get a cut on turn 3 and on turn 6 as well, which is basically enough to finish the game, and that's why I decided to pick bravery for this. But of course justice is also a good option, because it at least has a very reliable passive and it can win you games against some froggy decks which are now pretty popular. So yeah, if you want to try, you can also try this build on some justice, but you won't be able to put Froggy Trios in there. Anyways, Froggy Trio is a very questionable card, so just put double punishment and you are done. Speaking about artifacts, it's an obvious poke, because you want to finish the game as soon as possible, and it's a Froggy's artifact. This one is really questionable, but the reason why I use this artifact is because power got deleted for these types of decks, such as Zoo and aggro decks, and also some maybe tempo decks. So I use Froggies instead, just because it's an additional 1/1 guy against some integrity or against some bravery, or in other like similar matchups. That's a very good boost, but of course you can just top deck Final Frogget and the game is ruined for you. Yeah, that's also not that good, but it's a top build, so why not trying this one. Speaking about other cuts in my deck, well, we have our own Tiny Froggies, which are nice combined with Migosp and with Geniter, especially against Justice. That's like some kind of win condition against Justice, to just play some Tiny Froggies, buff it with Geniter, and high roll some Grillby from your passive or something like that. Can you even get Grillby with your passive? Yeah, probably. Yeah, sure, you can. It's a 5 cost cut. Never mind. So, also speaking about third drops, yeah, I've got Memorial Statue as a very solid third drop against Justice, once again. And yeah, the build I showed you was with Diamond Boy, with the first Diamond Boy, but it's a pretty useless cut for now, because it doesn't help you against Justice, and you don't need it against other decks, so why even using it? I don't know. That's why I swapped it with Memorial Statues. Now it's fine. Also, I have only one Tammy Statue, because you don't need that much burst damage. You usually just hit your opponent with your bot, and you like have solid bot pressure thanks to Napstablook and Genitors, and of course Froggy Trios, which is surprising, because you can like get additional Froggies, then buff them, then trade with them. It's usually a value trade if you just trade with them, so you have some additional Froggies on the board, you hit face twice, and that's a winning situation, just because you have some additional charges in your hand, and that's usually enough. So the only fourth drop I have in here is Trader Tammy. It's a very solid cut. It has transparency, which means it's just a 4 face damage, and also it gives you some random 1 cost spells, or Blitz Squeeze, or some Break, or some Golden Hit. Well, I mean some 0 cost spells as well. How does it help you? Well, you literally can get a penetration against a town deck, or you can get some inflation for additional burst damage, having 4 charges in your hand, which means you can get +8 damage, +8 damage from Thin Air, and it's very cool. So yeah, I really love running this card. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of additional RNG, but that's nothing because the card is just for a deal for damage to your opponent. So that's a solid pick. Also, I have some additional charges as well. Speaking about School Tem, that's like the reason I run Froggy Trio as well, because using Froggy Trios you can get additional Froggies that you can burn using your School Tem, and that's 3 gold, 3 damage to your opponent, as well as Ice Cap, but Ice Cap has 3 less HP, so this is also a nice combination. And yeah, you can also burn some Tembi too, because it's 2-1 haste, you don't usually need it, and just additional 2 damage to your opponent is very important. So that's the build, and I'm gonna tell you a bit more while playing it, and of course I'm gonna show you some gameplay. This is not the style integrity from the past video, so I want to show you a bit more games of this deck, just to let you know how it works, because the games usually last like 2 minutes or maybe 3 minutes, and the game is over, so you can easily farm elo, especially when you are playing on low ranks. That's the reason why this deck is a top build. It has a use case, and its use case is farming plays from Ruby while being on Legend, getting +5, not for a 15-minute game, but for a 3-minute game, which lets you spend less time on undercuts, and that's, sounds good, and spend less time on grinding, and it lets you gain elo twice faster or even thrice faster. So that's the reason I played this deck on my alt accounts, and it got me like 10 winning game streak for less than an hour, and I got to Legend from Ruby 4. I'll probably add a screenshot of my games history from my alt account, and of course from this account as well. I've already played a few games, and I'm gonna show you the gameplay without my voice, and then some game that I'll play, and give you some tips about the deck. So that's pretty much all for now. Let's get to some games. Surprisingly, I found the game pretty fast. So now I'm gonna show you how to play this deck, and I'll tell you about that. I'm facing Justice, which is already bad. I'll show you why that's bad, and I'll show you a single game that is self-explanatory about Justice and about facing Justice. But the start isn't that bad. The thing that I'm going first is pretty bad because I have nothing to play, so I'll just skip a turn and probably play some Temi stage or Memorial stage. So yeah. The thing that I face Justice is always bad, because it can easily remove my first drops, and then he can just remove all my third drops by using Fuku and by using Caesar or any other card that deals damage. I don't know I don't even know if it's a good play to throw Trader Temi. Of course it fits the curve, but if he has Fuku, then I'm fucked, and if he has some Undying Spirit, then I'm fucked as well. So I think I just go for Memorial Statue, then for a Temi Statue, then for Generator to buff this, and maybe for Tiny Frogget as well. So I'll just throw a cut in here. I hope he doesn't play some Found Pet deck, because if he does, that's too bad for me. Okay, so he just skipped the turn, and of course it's a nice one. Crystal Cheese is always a nice pick from here, but I also love Silence, and I don't even know what's a better option. I guess I'll go for Crystal Cheese. Always go for some sticky cuts against Justice. Sticky cuts are cuts that can't be removed by like a single removal, and I just want to go for Crystal Cheese in here. Oh my god. What are those? What are those? I think dog food is a better option here, and just throw in Tiny Frogget and skip a turn. I decided to throw a Tiny Frogget just in case he wants to trade this off and the passive procs in here instead of a Memorial Statue, or just in case it survives and I can like trade something, or just throw Generator to buff its HP, which is also nice. For now it doesn't look that bad for me, because I have Trader Tammy, I have Tammy Statue with Trader Tammy, which is also nice. He skips his turn. I'm going for Generator into HP. That's the play I wanted to, that's the play I wanted. Because now it's extremely hard for him to remove everything. He can probably use Papyrus as a clear, but then he's in a very bad position, because I can just Trader Tammy my Ghost. Okay, he just skips turns. That's very strange. He probably has some solid removal. Well, that means that's another game with my... Oh my god. I am extremely lucky, because, like, Justice Abusers are now together fucking... So I have some less chances of facing Justice, and less chances of facing Sparring. And that's also pretty important, because Sparring's decks wins my Bravery, like, in 90% situations, especially when he high rolls. So yeah, I found the game immediately, which is pretty nice, and I'm facing some Adrenaline Perseverance. I don't know how to react to this. I guess I'm going for this hand. Nice one. I just... understandable. Okay, having a Tiny Frogget against this deck is cool, because I can trade off some Snail, like, immediately. But I don't even know if I'm going for trades. Like, the thing is, I'm going first, which means he has to deal with my face damage. And right now I can just play Frogget and hit his face. He'll probably use a Haste Tammy to trade in here, and I'll School Tam for a value trade. Oh, he plays like this. Then he trades in here anyways. Or he just hits face. Dude, you. Dude, you. So now I have an easy trade in here. And probably I am going for School Tam for additional value. Okay, so this is the most obvious one, probably. So now I have an option. I can just go for a trade and set up my own board. I can go for Frogget Trio into 2 Froggets. Trade in here with my Tammy. Yeah, I guess that's the best play imaginable, because I can... he'll probably have to throw a Haste Tammy instead. So I just go for this. Oh yes, an important tip. Don't use your recruitment when it's added to your hand, because sometimes you can just skip a few turns and then look at it in case you are looking for something, because right now I don't know what I want to pick against him, because I have all the cards I need in my hand. So I basically don't need a recruitment. So use it when you need it. That's a very important tip for all the Bravery decklists. And yeah, when Bravery gets buffed, and I hope that will happen once, then don't forget about this important tip. So for now he just plays a Peach tactic. So I probably go for Napster Block and just hit his face. The next turn I want to spend as many cards as I can, because I'll have a recruitment proc. Yeah, he just set up in some OTK combination probably. So I just go for this one and for this one as well. I just want to deal as much damage as I can, so I can't get OTK'd. And I still get a card. I get my recruitment, which is nice. I get 2 of them at once. That's also cool. He just probably throws in Snail Trainer and that's nothing for me. I just have little. Yeah. That was a pretty easy game. That's what I'm talking about. I've just played 2 games in less than 5 minutes, and I got like plus 11 elo. Imagine me playing some style integrity against those guys. I would probably win, but I would spend thrice as more on them. So yeah, use this deck when you want some free elo farm, and when you want to rank up quickly, and if you are sure then that there is no sparring playing his justice or no other dudes net decking sparring playing in ranked right now. Also, it's a nice deck when there are a lot of integrities in ranked. That basically means you can just have little on turn 4 against them, and it's always a very good matchup when you play as bravery against an integrity. So I hope I gave you enough tips about the deck, and now I'll let you just enjoy some gameplay without my voice, and some meme compilation as well. So the next build will probably be Justice build, and I'll tell you a bit more how to build your complete deck on a deal keyword and how to be the top 1 player with it. That's the only top build that's going to be really oppressive and really strong. It's an OP build that can even give you a chance to become the first player and to like reach the legend in no time. So yeah, stay here for more videos, for more top builds. Subscribe, leave a like, and share it with your friends as well. Thank you all, guys. See you soon.
fire of the melody. Back in the night, I'm feeling alright. Back on the roads, you really got me tonight. Push the limit to the spirit. Like a dreamer. Fire dana maita. Poncho bolas and maracas, fighting for your rights. Charro, solitaro, black rider in the night. Faster than you arrow when the moon is brighter. Charro, solitaro, black rider in the night. Faster than you arrow when the moon is brighter. The sun is rising into the desert, riding over the wind. I'm caballero without dinero, down to my last dollar. From San Diego to Caracas, peaceful for the Namaita. A bunch of rollers and maracas, fighting for your rights. Charro, solitaro, black rider in the night. Faster than you arrow when the moon is brighter. Charro, solitaro, black rider in the night. Faster than you arrow when the moon is brighter. Charro. Free like a spark, leaves for tomorrow. Husband into the dark, fighting for freedom, your perfect dream. Turn back to the limits. From San Diego to Caracas, peaceful for the Namaita. A bunch of bolas and maracas, fighting for your rights. Charro,